Well, how about that? There we are. We are now underway here on the Paranormal Portal, and hope you guys are doing great. It's been a whiplash week for me, for sure. It's just the way things go sometimes, but it still throws me all off my kilter. If you know what a kilter is, I'm not always sure. I don't know what the hell a kilter is, but I know I'm off mine. So hope you guys are doing great, though. Thank you so much for coming in. Obviously, it's Friday, and that's already a great start to everything that's coming up. It's hard to go wrong on a Friday, right? Like it's kind of the day of the week that everything just feels like, all right, now we're cooking. So great to see you all as always. Thank you for all of the well-wishers. I posted on social media that why we didn't do a show Wednesday. You might be saying, why wasn't there a show on Wednesday? Well, Mrs. Portal had a surgery, and I didn't know how that would play out as far as, it was in the morning, but it ended up being kind of an all-day thing, and it just, by the time I got home, I was just running on fumes. I was just all out of gas, and I was like, well, I could, turn on the show and stare at the camera and try to talk to you guys, but I was just spent. So I just did the only thing I could do, which was tell everybody, sorry, there's no show tonight. And I went and crashed on my couch for a couple hours. So that's kind of what happened on Wednesday. So my apologies to those of you who may not have gotten the notice, but I'll tell you, if you want to keep updated on what's going on with the show, or, what's going on with me to a degree personally, then, certainly tune in to my Facebook is probably the best bet, or the Discord. Keep checking the Discord. I do post in there if there's not going to be a show, and I posted in there on Wednesday. And the Facebook is probably the best bet, but I do have a X account, as you may well know, because we stream to X, we stream to Facebook. I have a Twitch, but I don't post many updates over there. So that wouldn't be probably the best place to see what's going on with me. But at any rate, that's just what happened. And my apologies for the late notice, but again, I didn't know how it was going to all play out. So I didn't just say, hey, no show earlier, or even a day or two earlier when whatever, because I was just like, well, maybe it'll work out. Maybe it'll be just fine, and get home plenty early to kind of unwind for a little bit and then do a show. But that was not how it happened. So I just wanted to apologize, I don't like missing shows. I feel like, I miss an opportunity to be with you guys, to talk about this stuff and to have a great time. And but that's just what happened. Yeah. So I have Twitch too, says Beth. The docs say I'm not dangerous. Oh, a Twitch, not the Twitch, a Twitch. Gotcha. Sorry, I misread that for a second, but at any rate, Sheldon Thomas will be along shortly, and that'll be great. And don't apologize, Brent. You and your family come first. Well, and that's the tone of so many messages you guys sent me, and I really appreciate that. But I do feel like I'm, when I can't do a show, Card Juice says family first over on Rumble. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And so many people extended that very same sentiment, and that really means the world on Discord and on social media. So, but I just wanted you guys to know, in case you hadn't seen the explanation, that's kind of what happened. So, oh, Elaine, you remembered. Elaine remembered 44 months. She's been a Portal peep. So there you go. Congratulations. Thank you, Elaine. That really means the world to me. I appreciate that so much. Yes, family first, BJ says. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate the understanding, but again, I do feel bad when I'm not up here doing the shows, because I do love doing these shows. So, but that's kind of how it happened, and that's what happened, and that's why it happened. And here we are. It's Friday night, and we got 2 fun-filled hours of paranormal goodness in the hopper waiting for you. And I hopefully we'll have a great show. I believe we will. Please let it be a great show. I really need one. No, I'm just kidding. Just so you know, everything is okay. That's not like an emergency surgery or anything like that. It was planned, but so I know I'm not really being really forthcoming about what happened, but it's this private stuff. I don't want to get into that, but nothing life-threatening or anything like that. Just something that needed to happen, and we finally got it done. So that's kind of it. All right, so we are going to get to the news here shortly. As always, we get to the news and talk about some articles of interest and intrigue of things going on in the world around us. None of it political, thank God, or world events, usually, because we get enough of that from the other guys. The other newses, if there's such a word, newses, there is now. But we just like to have fun and have a good time, and so we'll get into some news stories, see what's on the hopper tonight. And then we're going to get to an article, The Why Brent is None of Our Business. Oh, that's nice. Well, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the prayers always. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it. I assume it's Jordan, JRDN. Perfect. Thank you for the donation. That's really sweet. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. A little tired today still. A lot of running again today. But, you know, it's just the way the world works. But I'm doing good. I'm really excited to be here with you guys. And then we're going to get to what the hell is that? I think I even got something for the freaky phenomena files tonight. And then, of course, the Crypted Corner. And that's going to round it out. Hopefully you guys all came from Lon Strickler's show, Phantoms and Monsters Radio, which was on at 6. I think he was on tonight. I don't know. I was kind of prepping in a vacuum tonight because I was in a rush. I'd been running all day, so I couldn't just kind of do it casually with some entertainment on. I just focused and drilled in and got the show ready for tonight. But if Lon did a show, I hope you guys are checking those out. Lon's a great guy, and he does an amazing job over on Phantoms and Monsters Radio. You know what I'm saying, huh? Lon's the guy. And then after the show at 9 p.m., Dave Scott takes over and brings in Spaced Out Radio. So, I mean, there's some great entertainment on Friday nights, folks. So tune in to all 3 shows, and you'll have a whole evening of paranormal goodness just filling your bowl, if you like bowls. Or your bong or whatever. I don't know. This man from the West in here. So let's, I guess we'll get to the news. Started off, and Lon did great. Barbara Morris said, okay, good. I know Barbara's been checking out Lon's shows. Yeah, very cool. Good. I'm glad he had a good show. Lon's a really good guy, and if you haven't checked out his show, Phantoms and Monsters Radio, you should check it out. He's just a great guy. Just a good guy. A pipe. Yeah, exactly, Carol. That's kind of what I was alluding to there. But anyway, good to see all you guys piling in. It's wonderful to have you here. Let's do some shout outs. I've got Car Juice, Barbara Mora, and Dog Digger over on the Rumble, along with me, of course. I haven't seen Justin yet, but that's okay. Or Big D. But, you know, if they show up, that's wonderful. But who is on the YouTube? Let's check out who's sounding off over there on YouTube's. I already got it expanded. So Lenda's over there. Vampire Man is there. Adventures with Beth. Aussie Boss Tiger. BJ Lapierre is there. Carol Pack. Cryptical Crossroads. That's Josh himself. There's Carol. Oh, my God, Carol. Thank you so much. Carol just gifted 5. My God, let me do the shout-outs, and we'll come back to that. Thank you. We got Elaine Clifford. Henry Dog. Jeremy is here. Jeremy's spoken clear today. Good to see you, Jeremy. Thanks for coming back, brother. Joanne is here. John Temperin. Jordan Cogburn. Jose is here. Josie is here. Jordan, I think it's JRDN is Jordan, right? I think so. Karen Alberding. Kel is here. Kitty Cattywhack Owl is here, as is Rachel Gets It Right. Sharon Sunshine. SoCal Squatcher, Vincent Sanchez, Wizard Moon, and Yeshua Reloaded. Yeah. Very cool to have all of you guys here. Thank you so much. All of you who are jumping in, and any more of you that come in, I will do my best to say, oh, there's Hoggle. Hoggle came in. Barry Anderson over on Facebook. Thank you, sir, for popping in. And anybody else that comes in, of course. Just like to greet you all and give you my undivided love and attention. At least attention. I do love you guys, but you probably maybe know it or don't know it. I don't know how that works, but I it's always sending you guys love. Love your channel. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate it, brother. Josie left. She's having a hard time right now. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Josie, I'm so sorry. Everybody send Josie your prayers and love and support as she's going through this hard time. That's such a hard thing to understand and to deal with. So, my heart breaks for her. Oh, well, I'm sorry I didn't say hello to her when she was in here. I saw her name popping up, but I was flapping my lips, so I'm sorry I missed that. But, yeah, of course, our prayers and love and hopes go to her and her family dealing with such a hard thing. But let's check out what Carol did here. 5 memberships. Thank you, Carol. Who got one? Jeremy 0160 got one, as did Mama Jane Star got one. Darren Franks TV. That sounds like a channel, Darren Franks. Well, welcome, Darren Franks TV. Well, welcome everybody, of course. Sharon Guy got one, and Mike Hunt got one. Oh, that's a dangerous one there, Mike. Oh, you're playing with fire. That's going to get me in trouble. Michael Hunt got one. Yeah, what are you going to do with that now, Mike, eh? All right, so congratulations, all 5 of you. You are now members of the channel for 30 days. And after that, it's up to you. If you want to continue, wonderful. If not, thank you so much for giving it a shot. And special thanks to Carol for making the magic happen. Thank you so much, Carol. That is so cool. All right, I'm trying to scroll and catch up here. Kitty came in. Good to see you, Kitty Kittywhack. Amanda's Crazy Life channel popped in, as well as Wizard Moon. And I don't think I said hello to Wizard before. So, but yeah, there we are. I'm buffering so bad for some reason. I can't even hear Brent. I just have the dastardly Ringo. What's the Ringo? Looks like everything's good on my end. Like, everything is excellent on the YouTube back end, and on my production software, it's all green lights. So I don't show any lag on my connection to YouTube and the other streams. But I'm sorry if you're getting that. Maybe refresh the stream. Give that a shot. I don't know. I hope you get that sorted out, though. Vince, how you doing, Vince? Good to see you. All right, well, let's get to some news and find out what's going on in the world around us, because usually I don't even know. So I always find out with you guys because, again, I don't know if you guys know this. Most of you guys know it because you've been with me for a while, but some of you may not know it. But I don't pre-read anything for the show. I read it cold right the first time as I'm on the air. So I don't do that on purpose because I want to hear these stories and hear these things firsthand with you, because that inspires conversation and ideas and thoughts. So, hi, Drake. Good to see you. Drake411 popping in. Brofist. Gotcha, brother. Gotcha, brother. All right. Nice to see all of you guys. So let's get to the news and find out what the hell's going on. We'll learn together. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to news you up because it's time for the news.
All the news you love, from the wild to the weird to the fascinating or interesting, with your host Brent Thomas.
Time for the news. Here it is. This is the Paranormal Portal News Desk, and I'm going to bring you as much news as I can pack in, which usually works out to about 3 articles. Sometimes we do 4, but 3, I think, is the magic number tonight. Hey, Justin Goodearth, good to see you, brother. Came in over on the Rumble. Got you in the house. Thank you for coming in. All right, we are going to get to the news as always, and I just want to encourage you guys throughout the course of the show. We utilize a lot of different websites. These are incredibly well done, professionally maintained, top-of-the-line sites, the best I've found, and that's why I use them on the show. But please support these sites. Please visit them. Please give them your love, because there's so much information on all of these sites, so much more than we could cover here on this show. And I know you're into this stuff, so go and peruse the offerings, because you're not going to be disappointed on any of them. They are just incredible. So support them, give them your love, give them your traffic, because that equals revenue, which keeps the lights on, and that's what we want. So we're going to go to a site that I love and adore for the news first. And this one has been my mainstay here on the portal for years. It's just so incredibly well done. I got to take off my slippers because I'm getting warm. I'm getting all steamy here. Might sound bad. No strippers. What? No strippers? No, dang it. Okay. Graphic blocking your face. Which graphic? What? Which graphic? I don't know what you're seeing, Barry. It looks good on my production software. I don't know what we're seeing, but yeah, let me know. I'm wearing my Paranormal Portal t-shirt at the moment. Thank you, Karen Alberding. Woo, appreciate the love. And please look at, I'm actually looking at a different company now for t-shirts. I was starting to work with Dashery, but it's just, they don't have the features that we need. I want to do giveaways. I want to do coupon codes. I want to do things like that. And they just don't have that available to me, but they'll set it up for me if I want. And it's like, no, I want to control this. So I'm working with another company, working out some terms, and hopefully we'll be back in the t-shirt game. So you could still go to the Dashery link and order a t-shirt. That's fine. But I'm going to be phasing that out. But they do nice shirts. It's just they don't give the authors control. So that's a bit of news, actually. But thank you for those of you that do buy the shirts and stuff. That really does help as well. And you look damn good in them. I've seen the pictures. You guys make the show look good. So I wear the hoodie all the time, Karen says. Outside advertising. God bless you. I appreciate it. All right. Green square, figure arms up. That's not on my... I don't have that on my screen. Green square, figure arms up. Or is that some kind of emoji you're putting up? I don't know. That's very strange. I don't know what that is. But anyway, let's get to done news. And we're going to start with the first article from unexplained-mysteries.com. This is the UFO phenomena files, and it looks like a Lulu, so let's get into it. U.S. Air Force general with UFO connection goes missing in New Mexico. And I know I've been seeing things about this for a while, so I'm glad we finally got an article about it so I can learn what the hell's going on with it too. Apparently this guy is just kind of gone. Just gone. I don't know why. But it's been a real curiosity. So let's check it out right now and find out what's going on. Retired General William Neil McCaslin's disappearance has sparked rumors and speculation. Uh-oh. Something's amiss in the swamp. Let's check it out. The 68-year-old who retired from the U.S. Air Force in 2013 vanished without a trace after last being seen on Friday night near Quail Run Court, northeast in Albuquerque. According to his wife, he had left home without his phone or his watch. Yeah, oops. A fact that she found particularly odd, as being an experienced outdoorsman, this isn't something he would normally do. He also suffers from a medical condition that makes his disappearance even more of a concern, and authorities have since launched an investigation in the hope of tracking him down. Our priority is finding Mr. McCaslin safely, said Sheriff John Allen of the Bernalillo? I don't know for sure what to do with that word. I imagine two L's being his more Hispanic sounding. Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office. Our investigators and search teams are working continuously, and we're coordinating closely with our local, state, and federal partners. Back during his U.S. Air Force days, McCaslin was often associated with UFO phenomena. He once headed up an Air Force research laboratory at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, where he managed $2.2 billion science and technology program. Ooh, maybe it's some getbacks for, recovering aliens from crashes and experimenting on them. maybe he's taking one for the team here. The base has long been associated with black projects and rumors of reverse-engineered alien technology, and also the place where Roswell UFO debris was said to have been taken. Yeah, I might be getting some terrestrial getbacks. Or extraterrestrial, as it were. The base is long... Oh, I'd read that. It's also been connected with Project Blue Book, which looked at thousands of UFO cases. While it's unlikely that McCaslin's disappearance has anything to do with all of that, it still remains a mystery exactly why he went out, where he went, and ultimately what happened to him. I don't know. That's a disturbing one. But there you go. The guy's missing. And it's raised a few eyebrows anyway. Like, what? What? I don't know. But that's the first article tonight. I never did show you, did I? Sorry. There he is. There's the guy. And you might have already heard about this, but because it is being posted around like, hey, this is really weird. This guy's missing. But there he is. it's very strange. Either he knew something and gotten some kind of big trouble with somebody, or he got taken by some visitors. I don't know. That's very, very weird. Well, there it is. No updates on that, unfortunately. I hope he turns up okay. I hope it's, just took a run to Vegas quick or something. I don't know, Probably not, though, if he didn't bring his watch or his phone or anything. So that sounds very suspicious, and certainly prayers go out to his family. Oof, that's a little creepy. All right, that's the first article. We've got 2 more to get to. This one is kind of creepy, really. This, sometimes people use the term cannibalism wrong, but in this case, it would be correct. And by saying that, I am saying that cannibalism is when a species eats its own. So, like a squirrel eating another squirrel would be a cannibalization, or something like that. This is my understanding of it, unless I've really missed something about the entomology of cannibalism. However, is entomology the right word? I don't know. Came out of my head, so I just spit it out and sounded smart. I hoped. Might not have, though. But a lot of times people use it in terms of like bad things happening with Bigfoot. Like, oh yeah, sometimes they cannibalize humans. It's like, well, not really, because we're not Bigfoot. We might share some genetics, but that's like saying a gorilla eating a human being would be a cannibal. No, not really, because we're not gorillas, or a chimp, et cetera, et cetera. So, but in this case of this story, this is the proper use, apparently. Here you go. From Nature and Environment files of unexplained-mysteries.com, discovery on beach reveals that orcas may be eating each other. Are they running out of fish? Or seals? Or what the hell's going on? That's a lot creepy. Let's see. A disturbing find on a beach in Russia has raised the possibility that orcas may be resorting to cannibalism. When Sergei Foreman, a researcher at the Pacific Institute of Geography in Russia, discovered an orca fin along a beach in Bering Island in 2022, it turned out to be quite significant. The fin showed evidence of teeth marks indicating that something had been chewing on it. Ooh. While this in itself, though, isn't unusual, as orcas are known to attack beaked whales and minke whales, this particular fin actually seemed to be that of an orca that had been feasted upon by another orca. Oops. When an additional fin was discovered a couple years later, it became apparent that something was happening that scientists had not previously been aware of. For whatever reason, some of the orcas in the region seem to be practicing cannibalism. Yikes. An analysis revealed that the fins belong to southern resident orcas, which reside near Washington and British Columbia, and that they've been attacked and eaten by Biggs orcas. This, the researchers believe, may have been why the southern resident orcas form large, close-knit groups. At least now we know that cannibalism happens, but I think it's not super common. University of Southern Denmark whale researcher Olga Filatova told Live Science. Yeah, that's creepy as hell. I mean, I guess it happens everywhere. Certainly chimpanzees will attack other troops and eat them. Generally, they eat monkeys and other things, but if they're going to eat meat, they do hunt like baboons and gibbons and things like that, whatever they can get their hands on. But other chimps, I guess, would be game as well. Certainly, squirrels actually do cannibalize each other, to my knowledge, and maybe it's not as uncommon in nature as we think, but it still seems absolutely abhorrent. Ugh. Absolutely creepy stuff. Survival of the fittest. Yeah, Delilah says that sucks. Not good, Wizard says. Damn those critters, they'll eat anything to survive. Yeah, well, even human beings, what was the Dutton party? Yeah, it's at some point we become the other white meat. And that's not a skin color reference. It's because apparently human beings are very comparable to pork, and pork is a white meat. So this is something I've heard for years. Not from anybody that I know that's tried it, but it's just a legend that's been around forever. Like, people are like pork. And maybe we're closer to pigs than we know. I don't know. Whale killer, whale killer. So redundant. Yeah, that's true, Justin. Yeah, that's where I start eating tree bark. Yeah, I know. I'd be really getting into salads if it became necessary to eat people. It's like, yeah. Well, and fish. I would reacquire a love for fish. I don't really love fish. I like crab, but not fish so much. I don't like fish bones. I think that's the big thing for me. And so many fish have bones, and I don't know, it just kind of kills it for me when I got to, do like Minesweeper with my tongue in my mouth looking for the pokey things. It's like, ugh. All right. But anyway, there it is. That's kind of disturbing and weird because, you think of orcas and they got a huge brain. They're bigger than ours. And you'd think that equates to a high intelligence. And they are an intelligence being, but the fact that they would predate on each other is very, very weird. Very peculiar. But I guess, maybe sadistic tendencies are not unique to just certain people and animals. Perhaps it's in the entire kingdom of animals. Who knows? But there you go. I was today old when I learned about this one, and could have been a lot older and not missed it. But there you go. Now I know. Now we know. So let's get to the last article of the night here, and this is kind of wild. This one, for any of you that aren't aware of this, there's a computer hacker that's named Gary McKinnon, and he apparently hacked NASA and all kinds of things, and found references in their files of non-human entities and non-Earth entities and connections. I don't know. It made it sound like there were actual communication with non-Earth beings in the NASA files buried somewhere. So I'm paraphrasing this wildly because I don't pretend to know a ton about it, but I remember hearing about this. So here he goes. This is the last article from unexplained-mysteries.com. Conspiracy files. UFO hacker Gary McKinnon found files referencing non-terrestrial officers. So this is kind of a kickback article, just talking about some old conspiracy files. So it said, sorry, gotta get this out of my mouth. Like a cat hair or something. The 60-year-old made a global headline news back in the 2000s when he hacked into U.S. government systems. It was one of the most hotly debated news stories of the decade, and even today, more than 20 years later, questions still remain over exactly what Scottish hacker Gary McKinnon actually found. Accessing the internet in the early 2000s from his girlfriend's London apartment. He did it in his girlfriend's apartment. Oh, man. McKinnon managed to gain access to restricted NASA and U.S. military computers in an effort to find evidence of UFOs and extraterrestrial visitors that was being covered up by the U.S. government. His clandestine skills were matched only by his naivety, as when he was caught, he ended up facing demands for him to be extradited to the U.S. to stand trial for crimes that would most have likely seen him spend the rest of his life in prison. The case received coverage around the world and fueled extensive debates over whether McKinnon, who was an Asperger's syndrome, was fit to stand trial or be forced to go to the U.S. Fortunately for him, Home Secretary Theresa May ultimately blocked his extradition. More than 2 decades on, McKinnon still talks about what he found on the U.S. government systems. Speaking this week on American Alchemy with Jesse Michaels, he described seeing images of a strange cigar-shaped vehicle that was incredibly smooth with no lines, screws, or bolts. It wasn't your normal space stuff, so I knew that, he said. He also found a spreadsheet containing details of non-terrestrial officers, seemingly a reference to the extraterrestrial entities that the U.S. government had knowledge of. It had ship names and fleet-to-fleet transfers, he said. Unfortunately, however, he was unable to save the files, and to this day, there's no evidence of them save for his word. Then again, could such files soon be released following Trump's recent order to make such documents public? I'm betting no. We may not have long to find out. No, I think we're going to be waiting a long time for anything like that to just go, oh, hey, we're done protecting this. Here you go. This is all the crap we've been up to for decades. Nope. The only files you're going to have access to are going to be reports and research that they've done on reports. Kind of the Project Blue Book stuff, part 2. None of this governmental stuff is going to be released. There's no way. But there you go. I don't know if you knew about Gary McKinnon before now, but you do now. And it is pretty bizarre. I mean, it's, as far as I know, the guy seems to be telling the truth. And I'm not an expert, but yeah, that's a fascinating situation. And I'm sure he saw what he saw. Very wild. But there you go, folks. This has been a presentation of the Paranormal Portal and the news. So we're going to get to the rest of the show right now. Buckle up. We're heading out.
When breaking news happens, Paranormal Portal is there.
It's not looking so good out here, Brent.
Award-winning and most trusted news.
Brent, the thief broke into the donut shop in the middle of the night. Be on the lookout. The man is in his late 60s, heavy set, and wearing some kind of hat.
First, live, local.
Is this a paranormal show? Why am I doing the weather?
This is Paranormal Portal News.
There we go. That's the news. I hope you guys enjoyed that little jaunt into the news. Da news. There's always plenty more where that came from. But you'll have to wait till tomorrow to get more of it. And that's the first stop on our journey tonight. Still not seeing Sheldon. Usually he comes in during da news, so he didn't come in tonight. I beg to differ about you not being an expert. Well, I appreciate your vote of confidence, Taco. I really do, but I'm certainly not an expert on pretty much anything, honestly. But in all fairness, I'm pretty sure nobody else is either. I don't think there are experts in any of this, but I think it's interesting. What if there was files? What if he really did see that? I don't know. I generally, when you hear about somebody having, it just shouldn't have to be based around, autism. But generally, when autistic people say something, if they're really on the spectrum, not just mildly or just a light, then anybody can be full of crap. But generally, somebody's on the spectrum, and significantly so. And I don't know Gary McKinnon's position on there, how much, but. Why would he make up all that? I don't know. Just seems like a pretty huge reach for that, but I could be wrong. I could certainly be wrong. I want to check something quick. Let's see, what the hell was this? Oh yeah, we did that one already though. What was this one? Yeah, so that's for this. Okay, I just wanted to check what I had pulled up, because I don't even always remember. But anyway, good to see all you guys. Thank you for all of you coming in. And remember, after the Paranormal Portal, you can get 3 more hours of paranormal and supernatural and 40 entertainment by hanging out with Dave Scott. Spaced Out Radio coming up at 9 p.m. Pacific. I guess that's midnight. And he goes for 3 hours, so there's still lots more to come. Justin Goodearth, you're in here. Big D's in the house as well, so good to see you guys. I thought I said hi to Justin before, but I did see Big D was in here, as is Dog Digger over in Rumble, and Car Juice is in Barbara Mora, Dog Digger, yeah. There we go. It looks like the crew is present and accounted for over on Rumble. That's good. No expert in any field, just knowledgeable people. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if there's experts, you would assume that would imply they had nothing else to learn. And I don't think any of our pursuits were at that point. You're learned in photography. That comes in handy for UFO, Bigfoot, and other photos. Oh yeah, I mean, I have an education in photography, but doesn't mean I'm an expert. But it just means that I probably know. Oh, our Keith Anders is on Spaced Out Radio tonight. Okay, yeah, he's a very interesting guy. I like him. He's just I mean, he's a bit quirky, but I like that. I like that he's his own guy. I think some of the greatest people I've known in my life have been people like our Keith Andrews, who's probably so incredibly smart that he'll forget more than I'll ever know. It's just one of those guys that you can tell when he learns something, he learns the shit out of it. Sorry, but it's just, there's some people that they just, like a sponge, they just suck up everything and anything. And he seems like one of those guys. And granted, his claims are out there, but the man is, he's dialed in. He's dialed in on what he believes he knows. And so either he everything he's saying is true, or he's one hell of a con artist. So that's kind of my take on him. And there's always the possibility that he's got a little different take on it, and maybe it's not the exact right take, but I couldn't argue with him. I could never argue with what he's saying. He comes at it from a really cool place. So if you've never seen our Keith Andrews, check him out. He's a very entertaining guy to watch, and he really believes what he's saying. I'll say that for sure. There are no exports, only jack of all trades. Oh, no experts? Yeah, you're right, Vampire Man. Absolutely. We're all just jack of all trade. I'm an expert at sleeping in rough seas. Well, there's that. I guess that goes. You must be a Navy guy, Drake. Are you a Navy guy? Gotcha. Well, there we go. All right, so let me figure out which article we're going to check out here tonight. Here it is. I think we're going to just do this one because it's one I've had open for a while. And I've had you guys voting on it. And you guys didn't vote on this as the one you wanted to read, but it kind of looks cool. Kind of looks kind of cool. And these articles go pretty quick. This, of course, is another article from Listverse. And this one's from 2021. So it's a little bit older, but again, this stuff is always evergreen. And that's a term used in advertising for, when you can pull up an ad, you can create an ad that would be good today or even 5 years from now. It's just not really dialed into trendy things. It's just kind of wide open. Well, the paranormal is definitely that. It's always relevant. If you're reading a ghost story from the 1700s, it's just as relevant as one that happened yesterday. I like that about the paranormal. So, all right, here we go from the weird stuff files of Listverse. Comes this article. Probably going to have to reposition it a little. But let's see where it lines up on the screen. Still no Sheldon Thomas. He'd been sick all week too. So I think he's better, but he must be running a little late. Here is the article we're going to read. From listverse.com comes this article. Top 10 compelling cases of paranormal phenomena. Well, you got to love that. So let's check this out. This is written by C.J. Phillips, April 11th, 2021. It was fact-checked by Jamie Frater. So great stuff on Listverse. They've got tons of these articles. And they're not extraordinarily comprehensive, but they're great overviews of topics. And I love that they do these because they introduce you to a lot of things that you can then go look into deeper. So I really appreciate these lists. So the first one is hell of a video. Catholic exorcism with the Warrens. Oh, that is a diabolical looking face, but that isn't a good angle for most people. If you catch most people like this, everybody looks evil. So there is that, but let's see what's going on. It may be surprising that any case related to it says famed charlatans. Wow, this is not a Ed and Lorraine Warren loving author here. The Warrens of the Conjuring fame would be on a list such as this, but the case of Maurice Frenchy Thoreau is difficult to easily dismiss as a hoax. Why would this be? Psychological reasons for odd behavior, overblown and exaggerated accounts, and a general willingness to believe in the supernatural above any rational explanation would usually suffice to sow the seeds of doubt in a story like this. But then there's the troubling footage from this exorcism. As with many supposed victims of demonic possession, Frenchy had a very troubled upbringing. It seems his father was a brutish, violent man, subjecting his son to terrible beatings, and although Frenchy was vague on this, it was assumed that some really inappropriate abuse happened also. Oh, man. I mean, how do you screw up somebody for the rest of their life? That's how. That's the recipe. It was after this terrible event that Frenchie began to notice he'd gained preternatural powers, increased strength, hidden knowledge revealed to him, and the ability to be in multiple places at once. So far, so Hollywood. But during an exorcism conducted by Bishop Robert McKinnon, with the Warrens close by for moral support, things get pretty weird, and not in the usual growling and body contorting sort of way. The slow morph of Maurice's face seen in the video of this exorcism is really freaky. Given that this case occurred in the mid-'80s, years before sophisticated CGI tech that we have today, it's hard to believe that anyone involved would have had access to the Hollywood editing required to stage the footage without jump cuts. There is more than this to the story, however. Frenchie had previously spent time on probation for inappropriateness with another kid in 76 and dodged another inappropriate charge in 85. Charges were dropped when he claimed to be possessed by demons. Well, really. And his father had unalived his mother before unaliving himself in 1982, so there's plenty of precedent beyond the supernatural for what happens next. In 1992, Frenchie succumbed to his violent urges, attempting to unalive his estranged wife, pewing her in the arm outside of her Massachusetts home with a pew. I don't know. I'm trying to stay within YouTube parameters here, but this is a tough one. And then he turned the pew on himself. So, yeah, I guess it can be safe to say that the exorcism didn't take. So, which is not actually uncommon. There's no guarantee an exorcism will work. I think there's a lot of variables that account for that. But even if it does work, there's no guarantee that whatever was exercised is never going to come back, and that's kind of the scary version. Yep. So happy to be here with such a stand-up guy like you. Cheers, brother. Oh, thanks, Jaron. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. I'm actually sitting. I don't know. That was funny in my head. All right, so that was the first one, but exorcisms are kind of a roll of the dice. And I think some of the reasons and variables are the ability to exercise is very much grounded in the devotion of the exorcist. And I know they've all learned a trade, and they've all learned, the things to recite, the actions to do. But faith is very independent. No two people will exercise and show the same level of faith. And I think that's the big key to successful exorcisms, is that just spewing out words and splashing water and different sacraments doesn't guarantee an exorcist will be successful. But it certainly can help. I'm sure these things all have merit and power in their own right. But I think that like everything else, like when I talk to you guys about cleansing, I always tell you, whatever you use, what other methodologies you use, make sure that they line up to your faith. Because if they don't, then it's more empty. It's missing that key element. And certainly it's true anytime you're dealing with spirituality. You have to do things, use things and use methodologies that align to your passion, to your faith. And if you don't, they're not going to be very powerful usually. But there you have it. Interesting. Number 9, exchanging tinfoil hats for tinfoil crowns. And this is the Tic Tac video. I think this one's from the Nimitz, but so this one may be a little older. Pentagon confirms the existence of $22 million UFO program. I think that was ATIP. But anyway, finally cried all the UFO believers when this footage was leaked. Hold your horses, though. All this stuff is not proof of the existence of aliens. Gang. Who says gang in an article? It's not aliens, gang. Was it? Yeah, Reggie. It's simply proof that U.S. authorities know and study the phenomena of UFOs and seem to have no idea what's going on. In and of itself, this is as close to proof as UFO fanatics have ever gotten. You must admit, skeptics, it's all quite intriguing. The leaked footage is pretty amazing. This one feels real, But as compelling as the video is, it's not proof of the supernatural. Rather, it's proof that there are phenomena that even the most heavily funded expert institutions on Earth cannot yet explain. Keep watching the skies, or it says skis. Skies. Obligatory Simpsons reference complete. Oh, what the hell is this? That's a creepy thing. Not sure what we're looking at here, but let's see. The body in the reservoir. Body in the Billings Reservoir. A body was found near a reservoir outside of the city of Sao Paulo, Brazil in 1988. The man was seemingly tortured to unalived. Facial skin peeled back, eyes pulled out, eyelids cut off. Entire muscles had been removed. Symmetrically aligned puncture wounds all over the body with accompanying cauterization, multiple organs removed without an obvious incision save a small hole, suggesting the organs had been sucked out. Oh, God. The victim had also been castrated and drained of all of his blood. Furthermore, the man had been probably been conscious during the whole ordeal, given that there was no sign of anesthetic in his system. Oh. There was also cerebral edema, suggesting extreme pain. Cause of death, cardiac arrest during extreme agony. Official verdict, death from natural causes. Is there a natural cause that sucks our organs out? Because I don't want to know that one. I don't think I've ever heard of this one before. It seems that authorities may have rather poorly covered up this case. Perhaps it was due to the awful, gruesome details being too alarming for the public. Perhaps there is some darker conspiracy afoot here. Given the similarity between this case and the cattle mutilations, often touted as evidence of alien experimentation, it's not hard to allow the possibility that we humans may be viewed as guinea pigs by some advanced alien species. I hope that's not a picture. That's freaking horrible. Ugh. Good God. Ugh. Yeah, that's the other side of it. It's like, oh, yeah, we're being visited by all these different races. But which ones like us? Because if they don't like us, shouldn't the other ones kind of keep that in check? Oh, this is David Politis, Missing 411. A better way to look at the Missing 411 phenomena. Okay. Author and former police detective. I'm not sure he's a detective, to be honest with you. I know he's a police officer, but I don't think he was a detective.
Sorry, I'm here.
Oh, are you? Because you're not on camera.
Oh, shoot, that's right. There we are. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Okay, I'm late, but I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Happy Friday.
Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah. We're just dealing with an article. This is a Listverse article, Top 10 Most Compelling Cases of Paranormal Phenomena. And we're just on number 7, a better way to look at the Missing 411 phenomena.
Oh, perfect timing. I love Missing 411.
Yeah. So I'll restart the article for you. It says, author and former police, I'm not going to say detective because I don't think he was. David Politis worked on collating and examining many thousands of unexplained missing person cases that occur in the U.S. national parks as entertaining stuff. Is it convincing? Not really, no, but I guess this guy's really skeptical. But it is the reason it lacks credibility as a working theory that is interesting here. Politis and his supporters seem to instinctively try and join up some invisible dots, fashioning a joined-up, all-encompassing conspiracy that will explain each and every case of missing people in the national parks of the U.S. We don't need to do that. Scrap the grand narrative approach and take each case on an individual basis, and you'll see that they're far more fascinating and better evidence of possible explanations beyond our current understanding than Politis' loftier claims. Politis' work has brought new life and fresh eyes to some truly baffling cases that may point to something we cannot explain with conventional science. Avoiding the web weaving, we may find something truly extraordinary. So this guy really is not all in on the David Politis work, but I don't know. I mean, to each their own. I think Dave's done a good job of creating some compelling narrative around this stuff, but I don't pretend to know how a lot of the details of the cases other than what he's covering. So, like, I've not independently investigated any of them, so I don't know.
I mean, isn't it possible too that Missing 411 is is a case of multiple phenomena too. It's not just one thing. Could be portals, could be Sasquatch, could be Dogman, could be, multiple things all rolled into one, really.
Yeah, I mean, it sure could be. It's just basically they just know that people disappear and they can't really figure out what happened.
Exactly.
So they're basically, it's like missing unsolved mysteries,
Yeah. I guess basically, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, I mean, to his credit, he never subscribes any one idea to what happens. He's like, I don't know what's going on, but this is the facts of the case as he presents it.
I'm sorry, go ahead. My bad.
Well, I was just going to say, and I can't argue with that because I've never investigated the claims myself. So
if you had what is your personal thoughts on, like, what do you think is, like, even though it probably is multiple things, like, what do you think is the main cause for missing 411? If you had to take even just a guess.
Honestly, when you look at overlays of maps between missing people and caverns and cave systems in the Americas.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they correlate really, really well. So, would it be hard for somebody to fall down some unseen crevice? Maybe some gap that somebody else missed and the other person didn't, and they dropped down 30 feet unconscious. And, you'd never find them. So I think there's got to be at least a fair amount, or at least some of that could be part of what's going on. But I also think some of the cases, if the narrative he puts out there is really accurate, then I don't know what the hell's going on, because it's some really strange stuff.
Yeah, it is fascinating.
Yeah. So I don't know. Very interesting though. So, I mean, I know I've heard there's, several people out there very critical of what David Paulides is doing and has done, but I if he hadn't done it, nobody'd be having the conversation to begin with. So I guess it's a good thing he's done it at the very least. But, and I don't know the specifics of any of the cases. So it's not like I can take, this is what I think happened, because I really don't know. But I do think that, there's got to be at least some correlation between, the people that have never been recovered, they just disappeared, and those cave systems that seem to line up with a lot of this.
And that's something I did forget about on the map. The map does correlate scarily well.
Yeah. Yep. But it also correlates scarily well to Bigfoot sightings and cavernous systems. So, which again, it may reinforce the idea that at least some of the time Bigfoot is a subterranean species. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not the only correlation to caves. There's several, but it's all interesting nonetheless.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the next one. This is coincidence. Okay, now I figured out how to pronounce that. Let's see what it says. Here we have a pair of twins separated at birth. Some degree of similarity is to be expected. I mean, they are genetically identical, but these coincidences are incredible, and I've heard some of these. These are great. Both were named James by their respective adopted parents and went by Jim. One named his first son James Allen, and the other James Allen. The first son James Allen and the other James Allen. Both men married a woman named Linda. After both men divorced their respective Lindas, they both married women named Betty. They both named their dogs Toy. They both worked as deputy sheriffs. They both liked a vacation on the same beach in Florida. They both developed tension headaches when they were 18. They both smoked. They both smoked the same brand of cigarettes. It could simply be the interplay between nature, nurture, and environment, but both marrying a Linda, then a Betty? There has to be some degree of ESP going on here, surely. Probably not, but it's all very strange. Yeah, I think some of the... And Jaron and Roman are good friends, are twins, and they've talked about this with me as well, some of the weirdness that they exhibit between themselves. There's certainly a cool connection going on there. They both called Brent B. Arthur. No, I think that's just you, Dave. Nobody's ever called me that except you. Once again, make sure to hang out with Dave right after the Paranormal Portal tonight. 3 full hours of spaced out radio waits for you. Waits for you. All right, let's go check out the unexplained sounds and mysterious lights. All right, this is mysterious loud hums, ringing sounds, low rumbles, and trumpet-like blares are heard the world over. You know, they were for a while. There was like everybody around the world was like recording these weird audio blasts that were just, you know, huge sounds like, you know, and just carrying and echoing and stuff. And then they kind of just died off. It's like, what was going on there? I don't know. But anyway, getting back to the article, causing wonder and confusion by all who hear them. Strange lights in the sky or floating up from bodies of water or dancing on the horizon also seem to have been an unexplained phenomena for centuries. What the hell is going on? We really don't know. The strange noises have been suggested as coming from heavy industrial machinery, fast-moving air currents, shearing against slower air currents. Okay. Biogases from decaying vegetation, or God heralding the end of days. Strange lights are suggested as being marsh gases, again, optical illusions caused by mist and car headlights, missile test ball lightning, radon decay from rocks causing plasma bursts, or God signaling the end of days via Morse code. Well, that's good. It's working with the hearing impaired as well. I don't know, but I do think it's funny that there were so many reports of these loud sounds that were absolutely anomalous in, you know, in some very rural environments. With I don't know, but the claims were there's nothing around here that should sound like that. Never ever heard this sound before, and yet there were these huge sounds. And you can find YouTube videos of, you know, huge trumpet blasts in, you know, around the world, and they're not identical sounds. They're not. They're all a bit unique to each other, but it is very strange. I don't know what I'd do if I heard it, but
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, live, die, repeat. And I'm going to give you guys a link to this article because it does have some videos you guys can check out with information of each of these takes. But let's read what it says. Reports of paranormal activity are met with derision. It doesn't help when the individual or family that is being pestered by a poltergeist, demon, vampires, haunted doll, gremlin immediately call the wrong person to help them. They never call the police. Well, yeah, what are the police going to say? Time for your meds, or we'll send over a welfare check on you with wraparound sleeves. Yeah, that's not where I'd call. They never try to get clear, irrefutable photo or video evidence. Do they ever get in touch with a decent investigative journal to experience the phenomena for themselves? No. They call a paranormal expert. Well, this guy's really, really picking on people. A medium, a ghost hunter, a bloody TV crew. One guy who rose above the colossal dung heap that is the paranormal expert community was Canadian academic Ian Stevenson. Stevenson's research into reincarnation in children is thorough, maybe the only peer-reviewed body of work on the paranormal, which is taken remotely seriously. Even ardent skeptics like astronomer Carl Sagan respected his work, writing in his seminal work, The Demon-Haunted World. At the time of writing, there are claims in the ESP field which deserve serious study. That young children sometimes report the details of previous lives, which upon checking, turn out to be accurate and which they could not have known about in any other way, other than reincarnation. Wow. However, as compelling as Stevenson's collection of anecdotes are, they're just that, anecdotes, not proof. That would require rigorous experimentation. So far, we have nothing else to indicate that reincarnation occurs. We cannot rely on Stevenson's work as more than just a tasty academic snack, not a fully satiating meal of proven theory. Ooh, nice simile. To illustrate this, Carl Sagan's next line reads, I pick this claim not because I think it's likely to be valid. I don't, but as an example of a contention that might be true. Which is, there's a picture of the London Hammer right there. That's the one with artifact out of time. Out of place artifacts, parts.
Oh, yeah.
Strange objects, out of place and out of time. I wonder how he's going to lampoon this. He's coming at it from a skeptic as he's writing it, and which is fine. I mean, whatever. But the Antikythera mechanism, the Baghdad batteries, and the Koso artifact. And what are we looking at here? Okay. An uncommon but not unheard of invention in ancient Greece, which is the Antikythera. 2 is the Baghdad batteries, 2 storage jars with some acidic residue that was probably a rotted papyrus scroll. And 3, a rusty spark plug. None of which is the London hammer, by the way. No mysteries here, except that damned hammer. There it is. Discovered in 1936 in London, Texas, this modern-looking tool was found encased in a 400 million year old limestone concretion. Clearly, it must have been made by an ancient race of giants from Jupiter. Well, maybe not. The hammer seems to be a miner's hammer from the area it was discovered. There's also a theory posited as to how the hammer could have become encased in the limestone in a relatively short period. The soluble material found in the limestone could have formed around a dropped hammer in a petrifying well, a natural occurrence that is due to water containing an extremely high mineral content. Okay, plausible, likely even. If so, then where are the thousands of other examples that would have doubtlessly occurred? Well, I thought it was not a common thing. A natural occurrence extremely high. I don't know. I've never heard of these. A petrifying well. I've never heard of such a thing. So it sounds like he wants to explain it away, but he can't quite do it based on that example.
Naturally.
Yeah, I think this one's wild. And so this is what they found inside. Basically, it was a big rock, and it had this handle sticking out, this piece of wood. They're like, what in the hell? How is that possible? So they brought it home and broke it, and this is what it exposed when it broke, is this. And it does look like a miner's or a blacksmith's hammer or something,
Yeah.
It's, it's not like it was extraordinarily advanced, even for that time, but, not like it's looks like a hammer from today that was found in limestone, but it's interesting. I've heard some people stating that the handle itself, which is made of wood, was both petrified and was turning to charcoal in other places, or turning to coal. Like it was that old that it had, undergone a little bit of both processes. So,
wow, interesting.
Yeah, that makes it very old.
Yeah, very.
All right, terminal spinal tap drummer syndrome. What is that? All sorts of animals explode. Okay. That's a great first line. Whether it is a rotting whale on a beach, yeah, but that exploded because they decided to try to liquefy it with lots of dynamite, and they ended up blowing chunks of it all over miles of circumference.
Yep.
Vietnamese termites that will rupture themselves to defend their pals from attackers, or when bored teenagers strap dynamite onto gerbils, animals can blow up naturally. But what about people? There have been many cases of spontaneous human combustion throughout history. Baffling relatives, medical examiners and scientists alike. Why and how does this happen? Many theories have been floated over the years. Heart attack and cigarette, slow burning wick effect and very concentrated burn area. Ketosis in victims caused by alcoholism or low carb diets, leading to a buildup of highly flammable acetone. Mistaken spontaneity, intentional self-immolation in order to commit unaliving of self, and unidentified external accelerant, inability to move, stroke, morbid obesity, demonic possession during immolation. And maybe every case is one of the above. Maybe it's some of the above, and there remains some paranormal force which causes these weird cases. Either way, what an awful way to go. Yeah, that would be an awful way to go.
Yeah.
And then we got angel hair and star jelly for the last one on this list.
Ooh.
All right, wouldn't it be nice if these odd phenomena were actually the hair of angels and jelly thrown down to Earth by the stars? For all they know, they may well be. Scientists haven't yet solved these twin mysteries from the natural world conclusively. Theories on angel hair, thin metallic-looking strands that look like spiders' webs that turn up on tree branches and bushes, range from accidental littering to industrial byproducts finding their way into nature, polarized atmospheric electricity forming filaments out of dust particles or biological matter produced by some insect, or it's caused by UFOs taking off. Star jelly seems to be a bit easier to explain, it's not conclusively. It's frog puke.
What?
Probably. Or caused by UFOs taking off. Different UFOs from the ones that make angel hair, of course. There you go. 10 paranormal events linked to mass tragedies. That one sounds like it might be good. I'll open that for later. But I'm going to grab this URL and put the link in there so you guys can check out any of the accompanying videos, especially maybe you want to look at that exorcism for the Warren files. Maybe. Maybe you don't. That was the first one in this list. You were late.
No, I know. I'm just thinking of that frog puke comment.
Where's it coming from? I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Where's the frog puke coming from? It's falling to the earth. Where's their puking frogs up in the atmosphere?
Wild. I don't know.
This one was creepy though. The body on the reservoir was creepy. That one was really weird. Did you hear that one?
No.
Okay, you should probably read this article link at least that one. That one looks weird. So there you go. Those was top 10 compelling cases of paranormal phenomena. Well, whatever you think, if you believe any of them or all of them or some of them, it's all fair. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows, right?
Wow, the first sentence I read on that was the organs had been sucked out. Yikes.
Yeah, with pinholes.
Oh, wow.
And muscles. There was no incisions. It was all through pinholes, and except for the removal of like the lips and the eyelids and eyeballs and stuff. But the organs internally were removed from like just little holes. Like they were just vacuumed out or something. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Don't call me Shirley, bro. I see you, Justin. I see you. I got that reference from Airplane. I got
what I was thinking about earlier this week?
No. What was that?
Wonder how Dan's doing.
Oh. I don't know.
I'm just going to keep that going.
Yep. I would need a bracelet. What would Dan do?
What would Dan do?
WWD. WWD. That sounded inappropriate. Sorry. You're a little blurry.
Oh, yeah, I am. Let me fix that.
You can fix it.
Fix it, Felix. Okay.
You go ahead and fix that, and I'll go ahead and get ready for our next segment, which is, I got a ton of them, too. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another segment on the show. One that we like to call...
What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
That's exactly right. What is that? Well, we're going to find out. This is the segment of the show where I show you some kind of paranormal proof or activity or something. And you guys have to figure out. Do you think it's... Why the hell do you look like a fox?
Didn't know this feature was in here.
Okay, well, great time to explore it. You're still blurry, though.
Oh, man. I was half hoping that would fix it somehow. Okay.
You could just do the hand thing.
Yeah, I'd probably just have to do the hand thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right.
You're just looking for a new one to try, aren't you? You are. I know you.
I was thinking about it.
Look at you scrolling through the options.
Just thinking about it.
Oh, you're such a tool.
There's no ghost one, unfortunately.
Okay, well, just go with the Sheldon one.
All right.
We're glad you're here.
We'll stay here then.
Just unblur yourself. There you go.
Yeah. I can unblur.
There you go.
There we
You
go.
are no longer blurred. Okay.
Good.
All right. We are going to get to what the hell is that? The only thing I ask you guys as you check out these videos and things that I'm going to post is that you vote. You're going to do some voting to see what you think. You're going to give me a 1 in chat if you think what you just saw was actual paranormal evidence, potential paranormal evidence, or maybe paranormal evidence, or give me a 0 if you think that is absolutely not evidence. That is fake as hell. And, again, the AI argument comes in for everything. Everything you're looking at could be AI. Can't be sure. Yep. But, we're just going to go through them and see what you guys think. What the hell is that? That's not what we're doing here. Okay. I don't know what that one is. I have to, oh God, I got to close all the chats again. Arrgh. Naturally. Oh God, it's going to run every one of these. Well, I've had them sitting for days and days and days. Oh, that one's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to going through that one with you guys. That one looks kind of curious. But again, chats. I got to go through and close all the chats quick before we get to the actual video. Okay, here we go. All right. The first evidence that we're going to look... Oh, you did it, you dick.
Continue.
Will you just stop?
Yeah, I'll stop.
Okay, thank you. All right. The show's not about you, Sheldon.
All right, continue.
All right. Here we go. The first one we're going to look at is coming from Haunt Vids on Facebook. Haunt Vids. VIDZ. And it says, I went to this abandoned site expecting nothing, but then something showed up out of nowhere. Not sure I remember this one, but we're going to look at it together. See what you guys think. Here it is. Here's the evidence. We're going to review it now. Then I'm going to ask you to vote. So get your voting fingers ready. I'm going to unmute it and let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to remute it. And it's just panning around. Oh, look at that. Is that a person down there? Yeah, it is. Okay. They said it was supposed to be abandoned, right? But there's lots of lights around it. Why couldn't there be somebody just in there? It's obviously in an area that has electricity. Oh, it does fade out though, doesn't it? Oh yeah. The figure actually fades out. This is going to be a tough one to look at on a phone and get anything. But basically you're looking at the end here. There's the figure right there in that opening at the end. And then it's over to the right like it's been going right, but then it's just gone. It kind of melts away at the end. So I'm going to let that play and let you guys check out that loop. Yeah, maybe a little person. It does look little. Like a duende or something. Yeah. There's actually another one that I think, could be a little person as well. Or potentially depicting a little person. I'm not sure that what is in the video is evidence, but it seems like maybe what a pukwudgie looks like. I don't know. All right, so there you go. What do you think, guys? Is this evidence of some kind of paranormal evidence? Let me know. Time to vote. Give me a 1 if you think this is proof or potentially proof, or give me a 0 if you think it's not. Skinwalker-esque, says Jaren. Okay. Aussie Boss Tiger's going all in on this one. Lenda's all in, as is Karen Alberting. Rachel gets it right. Yeah. 0.75 from 24 Vampire Man. Jeremy's giving it a 1, as is Elaine and Wizard. Lori, number 1 from Lori, and she says, and it is a leprechaun. Leprechaun. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. Could be a pukwudgie. Yeah. It's hard to make any detail out of it. We can just see it's a humanoid figure. It's very, very small. I'd like to see it blown up, but I can't blow it up. Sharon Sunshine, nope, not buying it. Bonnie Moore, not buying it. Good to see you, Bonnie, by the way. I didn't say hello to you earlier. Kedster's in here. He's all in. Carol Pack's not buying it. Halfway from Beth. And Jose is halfway as well. Cryptical Crossroads is being real specific. 0.8125. Wow.
Whoa.
Uncivil Engineers giving it a quarter possibility. So 0.25. Cadster's getting a hello from Linda. And D Oceans is all in. Nate's all in. As is Yeshua. Owl 13's halfway there. The movement is so slow. It is. It's definitely not looking rushed. 0.5 from Hoggle. Brent Van Hoen. Obviously a very wonderful guy. 0.5 from him. Rachel says, I zoomed in on my iPhone. You can do that. Okay. Yeah, if you're looking on your phone, maybe you can zoom into the video and watch it. It's just looping, so you can catch it. My sister saw a leprechaun type of being. Uncivil Engineer says, wow, that's wonderful. Can't see much, Jose says, hard to tell. Yeah. Pukwudgies are slow unless they're startled. Okay, Beth says that. 3.14. Isn't that pie?
Yes.
Tim gave us some pie. Appreciate that, Tim. 0.5 from Blue Cruise, 0.5 from Susie Wright. What do we got over in the Rumble? We've got Barbara Moore's giving it a halfway, 0.5. Big D's 0.4, just a little under half. Justin's 0.5 as well. Car Juice 0.5 and Dog Digger 0.5 as well. So, yeah, I don't know. It could be legit. I mean, it's interesting that the figure does seem to be throwing a shadow from the flashlight, and then it just melts. So it's actually blocking light, and that it's there, but then it's suddenly not.
Yeah.
There, boom, gone, and there's no shadow or anything. So that is interesting. There you have it. We don't know exactly what it is, but it could be something legit. There you go. The chat has spoken, but there's more. Let's get to the next one. This one is from Instagram. It's supposed to be from Instagram. What in the hell happened here? Oh, here it is. I thought I had that open, though. What in the hell? Instagram kind of crapped the bed on me here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's okay. I can call it back up. Here we go. Oh, now it's having trouble playing the video. That's why it rotated out, so I might not be able to include that one. I'll close that one. This one, was this it? I think this was it. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, yeah, this was from Mysteries.Unknown. This song is unavailable, so it doesn't have music anymore. But here we go. I'm going to pull it up so you guys can see it. Let me move it over. It's not framed really great. There it is. Okay. Unexplained objects over Kolkata. Damn it. It did that thing. Hate when it does that resize thing. Let me pull it over again. Stop. Okay. There it is. It's on. So it says, captured on a bustling evening in Park Street, Kolkata. A mysterious objects maintaining perfect formation for over a kilometer. Witnesses claim they were recording with two devices for crystal clear evidence. Could this be the breakthrough we've been waiting for? Real proof or another cosmic enigma? Watch closely for it and decide for yourselves. So, some orb-like things up in the sky. Yeah, it's a problem when you frame it with something in the foreground. It'll grab whatever's closest. There it goes. You can kind of see it looks like a D&D dice, like a D20.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Then you got the triangle dice over here. That looks more like a triangle or a pyramid shape. But what do you guys think? Is this allegedly evidence? Let me know in the chat. Time to vote. Thank you for the border, Barbara. I appreciate that. That helps a ton.
Oh, Nathan Nate came in with a 20, by the way.
Nathan Nate, God bless you.
Yeah.
You're a superstar, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, we got some votes coming in. Brent Von Hohen giving this one a 1. Jeremy's giving it a 1.5 from Vampire Man. Thank you, Nathan Nate. That was awesome. Rachel's giving it a 1. Beth is halfway there, as is Kedster and Karen Alberting. And we got Jose at halfway. Yeshua just gave us a point. You got to put something after that, brother. Don't know where you're at. Oh, there it is. He gave us a 1. Okay. Lenda gave it a 0.5. Hoggles 0.25. Carol Pack, nope, not buying it. Wizard Moon's all in. Susie's all in. And Hampton 11 is 0.05. Okay. Very cool. And then we got Sharon Sunshine 0.1. Uncivil Engineer gave me the dinkiest one I've ever seen. How did you make that dinky ass one? It's like, wow, that's the smallest one ever. The Oceans is all in, and BJ's all in. Cryptical Crossroads 0 missed it. This one is still playing, buddy. You can still see it. Anybody else? Looks like that's what we got. Hi, Caitlin. Good to see you. Okay, over on Rumble, we've got Barbara Mora, Kolkata, India, a Vimana. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, the triangle one. Could be like a Vimana. You're right. That's good.
Vimana.
Vimanas are the legendary fighting ships that floated in the sky from the Hindu writings, ancient writings.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they look kind of like rounded pyramids for the most part.
Jeez.
Yeah. Justin, wait, what do we got? Car Juice gave it a 0.5. Justin Good Earth, definitely UFOs of some kind, gives it a 1. Okay, very good. You guys all voted? Yeah, I think it could be.
I mean, it's good capture. I mean,
it is, yeah. The fact that they use 2 phones is always good too. More than one source of recording is great because, I will tell you this, that depending on what you're using, whether it's like Samsung or a iPhone or some other clone from Asia, they all kind of capture things a little bit uniquely. And so if you have more than one phone, it's great to try to use both. Definitely so. Okay, so there you go. That one's a good vote. I think it could be. I'll tell you, if it was fake, they did a hell of a job with it because it's motion tracked really well with the motion in the car, which is good. And it is disappearing behind things. The focal problems in this part, I think, is really convincing as well, that it is having trouble tracking which thing to focus on. So I think that's good. Hold on. I think it's pretty good. But anyway, that's this one. Let me go back up here and we'll pull up the next one for your review. Oh, I did it again. Damn it. Yeah, it didn't leave me anything. And Instagram sucks. I can't pull those up in advance. I just can't. I wish this one was still available. That one was kind of cool, the one that Chucky sent me. He did send me a few of them. But, yeah, there's a new one he sent. I guess we could do this one. I can't use this one, though, because it's just gone. Just gone! I didn't know that Instagram wouldn't maintain it long-term as an open window.
Oh.
This is the Paranormal _link channel. This girl does a great job on her videos, and we're not going to include all of her dialogue because that's, it's hers, and I didn't ask her permission. Hey, can I use your take on this? So we're just going to let that play. But what it is some kind of, I don't know, creature. Looks like a dog or shrew rat looking thing, but it's big. It's the size of a dog, but it doesn't have dog feet. Could be a raccoon. That's all balded, but you guys be the judge, and possibly a little bloated because it is on a shore. So here's the video. Let me move this over. There we go. You guys can see it. Okay. That's the image. It doesn't, honestly, the way those paws are, I'm thinking that it's a raccoon that might be just, have lost its hair and being in the water for a long time. But the eyeballs are still pretty there. But it could be a mangy raccoon. But it does have the same kind of hands and feet of a raccoon.
And the tail size is around the size of a raccoon as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is just a misidentification. But I don't know why it doesn't have hair. But all mammals can get mange. I don't know if people can, but all animals that have a coat of hair can get that in the wild.
Shen said opossum. Wouldn't the mouth be longer than a possum?
No, yeah, it would be like a narrow snout. A very narrow snout on a possum. It's not impossible, but it's got some crap on it there. So I don't know. I mean, it does kind of look like an animal that's been in the water a long time. And that could account for the bloating.
True.
They bloat, bodies bloat. But it says, is this the Montauk Monster back, or did the ocean just deliver another mystery? A brand new sighting is making the waves. March 1st, 2026. Long Beach, California came across a strange unidentified creature that washed up on the shore. Here's when things get eerie. This isn't the first time something like this has appeared. A similar creature reported washed ashore in 2024 near Long Island, New York. And many people still remember the infamous Montauk Monster discovered in 2008. Which I think they've proven was a raccoon as well. 3 different sightings, different years, different coasts. yet the creatures look strangely similar. What are we seeing here? A deep sea animal we've never documented, or something else entirely? No, I don't think it's a deep sea animal, because it would have some kind of fins and gills of some kind. This is definitely mammalian. It's developed limbs and such for walking. This is not like an aquatic species. So this is a species that's developed very acute musculature and stuff to support weight, and you don't have to do that in the water.
Yep.
So this is a land animal that just ended up in the water. The lack of hair could be just from being in the water, that it just fell out, but more than likely it had some disorder that caused it to lose its hair. Maybe irradiation. I don't know. But at any rate, there you go. That's my take. What do you guys think? Maybe I shouldn't put that out there first. Time to vote, though. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree, Lori Gibbs. I don't like seeing, dead animals of that kind either.
Me neither, but I grew up on the shores of the Mississippi. This is like a regular thing. Going out to the shore, it's like, oh, look at that. There's a deer. They'd fall through the ice, and it's sad, but what do you do? You kind of get desensitized to it when you live on a shoreline. I think, anyway. So what do we got? Jose gives it a 1. Looks like a dog, Jeremy says. Wizard Moon gives it a 1. Aussie Boss Tiger is giving it a 1. Let's see. Hampton 11 thinks it could be paranormal. Giving it a 1. Just a dead thing, D. Ocean says. Hoggle's giving it a 1. 1 because it's there. Well, it is real. My question is it paranormal or is it a terrestrial animal?
Yeah, basically.
To Mothman, I can't vote. Well, you can. You either say 1 or 0. You can either do either or some decimal of where you're at with it, but you can vote. You're welcome to vote. 0, normal deceased animal, says Rachel. Bonnie's giving it a 0. Kedster's giving it a 0. Just normal. 0.5 from Blue Cruise. Kind of in the middle on this one. The Ocean's 0. Sharon Sunshine 0. Brent's giving it a 0. Okay, 0 from Tim Mothman. There you go. See, you can vote. You're welcome to vote. You are welcome to participate, brother. BJ's giving it a 0. Cryptical Crossroads from Josh is a 0. Dog, in my opinion, from Uncivil Engineer. 0 from Beth. Susie writes, giving it a 0. Nathan Nate, 0. Built more like a dog. Yeah, I mean, and it could be. It could be a weird dog, but it's got definitely a raccoon-looking face and snout to me. I lived with a raccoon for a while. I know that face. As it chewed on my thumb one time. That little bastard. Oh. His name was Raccoonin the Barbarian.
Raccoonin.
If you ever got a raccoon, name it Fluffy or Flowers or something. Don't give it a name like that. All right, what do we got here? Some kind of nutria, Justin Gooder says. Well, nutria is more of a rodent, and this doesn't look rodent to me. But yeah, I mean, that's a fair assessment. Barbara Moore is giving it a 0, normal. Stranger, there's no predation. Yeah, that's true. But if it was, could be because it's diseased and lost all its hair, that it was like, ooh, don't want that. 0 on the monster theory. Yeah, I'm with you there. Carjuice thinks it's a dog as well. Probably is a dog. DRT dead right there. Yep. Amen. It's a drowned and bloated dog, Tim Mothman says. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Could be. I'm not sure how the distension would work on some breeds of dogs. Sure. Could look like that. Just whatever it is. It just seems to have like the finger-like toes on it, which make me think more raccoon than dog. Those are very pronounced digits that are real common. And, when you look at raccoon tracks, they're like, it looks like a handprint. And it does have that dew claw that's forward like a thumb. So I don't know. My take is a raccoon, but in any case, great conversation. Interesting to review things like that. How are we doing for time? Yeah, we're doing good. Okay, let's get to another one. We'll get out of these Instagram ones that are closing on me. And we'll get to this one. Here's this one I like. I like this one because I think there's something to these, but you guys will have to be the judge. This is coming from Cosmic Adventure on Facebook. Cosmic Adventure.
Cosmic Adventure.
And it's a mysterious object appears to hit the moon during observation. In most cases, this is a small meteoroid striking the lunar surface. In most cases, this is a small meteoroid striking the surface. The lunar surface, as the moon has no atmosphere to burn up incoming space rocks. Such impacts can sometimes create brief flash of light visible from Earth. Well, I thought it looked kind of like a spaceshipy, but you be the judge. Let me see less here, and then we'll put it up on the video, and you guys can weigh in on what you're seeing. Here we go. Oh, music. Let's kill that. There it is. Something, and it doesn't give you much to look at. It's just something coming in and boom, hits the moon, and it really creates a big ring. It's funny because it almost looks like waves.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it should look like when something hits the moon. But
yeah,
but the fact that it's creating those waves is kind of odd.
That is odd.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think we're looking at here? You can watch it a few times if you want before you vote. It's up to you. It's a quick loop. It's very peculiar. It seems to have wiped out that crater where it hit and created a much bigger crater. What do you think, meteoroid or asteroid? Yeah, so a 1 if you think it's a like extraterrestrial UFO-y kind of thing, or a 0 if you think it's a natural object hitting the moon. Let me know what you guys think. So 1, Jeremy thinks it could be a UFO. Okay, I think that's what Jeremy's saying. I didn't really clarify the voting here. Jose gives it a 1. Meteor, I think Karen says, yeah. Moon dust does puff up like that. Okay, thank you, Beth. Dust waves. I know that was what was interesting to me is the waves.
Yeah.
It was a weird summer for sure. Lori Gibbs giving it a 1. Yep. Nate, nope, nothing abnormal. Just a rock. Sharon Sunshine, 0.5. Looks like volcanic activity in space. Well, you can see the object coming down, Hampton. So it is actually coming down. Oh, you mean that's similar to what a volcanic activity in the Earth looks like? That could be. Yeah, I mean, that I've never seen that. Adventures with Beth, nope, just normal. Karen Alberting, normal. I think it's AI, Tim Othman says. It could be, yeah. That's the other part of it. 0 could mean AI or just a normal impact on the moon. 0 from Cryptical Crossroads, Tim Othman, 0. Hoggle's giving it a 0.5, maybe unusual. Bonnie's not thinking anything unusual is going on here. 0 natural objects, says Rachel. Lenda's giving it a 0. Kedster, 0.5. Small rocks, uncivil engineer. Deoceans gives it a 0. And you gotta go. Oh, take care, Lori. Thank you so much. We had great to see you. Thank you for your kindness.
Take care, Lori.
Brent Von Hohn gives it a 0.5. Carol Pack not buying this one. And Wizard Moon, 0.5. Blue Cruise, 0. Susie is giving it a 0. Lots of that on the moon. Yeah, for sure. 0.5 from Aussie Boss Tiger. 0 from Vampire Man. Crater Creator. 0. Oops, my bad. Didn't see that little thing hit it. Yeah, no worries. It doesn't give you a lot of the approach. It just kind of is just almost at impact when the video starts. So it's pretty quick. So Barbara Mora is giving this one a 0.5. Car Juice giving it nothing. Giving it nothing. Nothing from Justin Goodearth or Dog Digger on this one, which is fine. If that's a rock, I wonder what size it actually would be. Oh, there's Justin. 0. I think it's AI. It's not a great meteor footage, though. If not, it is great meteor footage, though. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm not sure. I mean, it's certainly very convincing. When I first saw this, I was thinking it was the objects going over the surface of the moon. I was like, ooh, those are kind of cool videos that seem to show objects just going right along the surface or above the surface and casting shadows as they go. I'm like, man, those look really good. I haven't found those yet for this segment, but I will. I haven't actually actively looked for them either. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. All right, there we go. That's the votes. And yeah, think it could be, but I think I'm going to wrap up this segment here and save a few for tomorrow because I got another. Go ahead.
What do you think though? Because God, those I can't stop staring at those waves. Not the dust coming off, that makes sense, but like those waves. What am I? I mean, would the impact cause like?
Well, it seems to suggest that there's a thick layer of dusty debris, but with the lack of gravitational, hold, I can't imagine that those dust things wouldn't just go out to space and not expand like this ring on the surface like that. But I mean, there would be projected force, more like a dome, so some of it would go out, some of it would expand out. But is there that much dusty debris on the surface of the moon that it would create the waves? I don't know. I just don't have enough of an informed position on it. Like I don't know enough about the surface of the moon. As far as I was always considering the moon was like, I don't know, kind of like, I don't know if it's like, it must be dusty like that though. When you think of like the Apollo footprint and stuff, it almost like they stepped in powder, So maybe it is like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't have an informed position on it really. It's a great video. If it's a fake, it's exceptionally well done, whether it's AI or CGI or whatever. But I don't understand the mechanics of lunar impacts and what it should look like versus what we're seeing here. It does seem funny that the rings don't expand this way much. They just go down.
Yeah, like
this.
Yeah.
And maybe there was an angle of impact that affected that. But look, the rings up here kind of stop. They expand a little bit, but they just kind of piddle out. This keeps going and going. And that's odd to me.
I will admit that's what made me think like, God, I almost want to lean towards AI. Like it's as if it's taking the camera angle and bringing the gravity down.
Sure.
That way.
Yeah. I mean, there is
know.
There is a bit of an angle on the approaching object. Like it's not coming at a straight, 90, it's coming at about a 20-degree angle off of plane, and so that could project more force this way versus back this way. I don't know. It's just speculation. I don't really know. But all the same, it's an interesting video. But again, I just don't know enough about it. So yeah, there's that. But I wish I knew more. I wish I could say, well,
Yeah.
in lunar terms, the impact should have been. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Not a thing, unfortunately. But I do know that was a segment that we like to call.
What the hell is that?
What's that?
That's the one. But now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to take a walk into the dark, embedded places of the Crypted Corner.
Oh,
there it is. Time for the Cryptid Corner, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually getting some Cryptid Corner tonight. I've got some stuff pulled up from Sasquatch Chronicles, of course.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I like these listener emails. These are fun because they're first person accounts of people that have seen and experienced thing with Bigfoot. Sometimes dogmen. This first one is a large canine report. And I think Wes did a episode about this one. But let's check out this one, folks. Here it is from Sasquatch Chronicles blog. Of course, it's a wonderful, wonderful site. Wes does an incredible job. So please support it. But here we go. We're going into this one. I've got to reframe it a little bit. Lots of different framings necessary. There we go. Sasquatch Chronicles blog. All right, let's go to this one from March 2nd. A large canine-like creature is standing there. A witness writes, I've been dealing with strange and unsettling activity on my property in Georgia since 2019. The first incident happened when my father and I were outside one evening. We both heard a deep, powerful growl, unlike anything we'd ever heard before. Almost immediately after, we heard something large moving away from us through the woods. Whatever it was, it sounded heavy and fast. Nothing major happened again until the summer of 2023. I was walking home from a neighbor's house 3 houses down from mine when I heard a loud metallic bang near my property. Behind my house is a thick wooded area. When I looked towards the trees, I saw that what I can only describe as a large canine-like creature standing there. It had amber-colored eyes. The moment it noticed me, it seemed to vanish back into the forest. Well, the encounter shook me deeply. I can't explain how quickly it disappeared. In 2024, when hurricane came through our area, we lost power for several days. We had to keep the windows open at night just to stay cool. On about the 4th night, I was in my room when I heard something outside, heavy breathing, sniffing, and low grunting. It sounded large. Whatever it was came to within 5 feet of my window. I didn't look outside because I was honestly just too afraid. Since then, whatever this is seems to come around more often. I've heard some metallic sounds twice more, though I didn't see anything those times. Recently, neighbors have reported pets and other animals going missing. Ooh, I don't know what this is, but I don't know what to do about it.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing you can do.
No, I don't think that's true, though. Like, some of the greatest advice I've heard given, actually, I heard it from Dean Harrison of Australia Yowie Research. He said, well, if you want to get rid of them, about the best thing you can do is start hanging up trail cameras around your house. Because
that's a good point.
They seem to avoid the hell out of them. And he's offered that advice to people, and apparently it's helped keep them away from their house. Just knowing that there were cameras hanging out. And maybe they're seeing the IR itself, like where it's shining. And they always want to stay out of the light. So if the IR is a visible light spectrum for them, then they would naturally just stay away from it. So, yeah, if they want to stay in the shadows.
You know what? That's a good point. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Dean's a great guy. He's, he's been at this a long time and has some really good feedback.
Wow.
Yeah, Jaron says Wes suggests putting up a bunch of lights on his show to people that are dealing with it, their farms and stuff. Yeah, the motion lights that trigger on, those are a great deterrent as well. They for a lot of these things, they just don't want to be in broad daylight. They want to lurk in the shadows and stay hidden. Like, they're intelligent enough to know that they want to be in the darkness. So it's pretty cool stuff. But it's one method. Other than that, I don't know what you do. There's anybody's guess. But that's the first one tonight. And great story. I'd love to know more. I think it is an episode now, but I'm not positive. It may not be. But it's really cool when you run across those. So March 6th, the Idaho Ranch, which I live in Idaho. So,
hey, look at that.
I was like, gotta read this one. A listener writes, when visiting my grandparents in Henry, they would tell stories like preachers thumping a Bible. These creatures were real to them. I was skeptical but fascinated as a young girl. On one visit, my grandmother pulled me out of bed at 2 a.m. to look through a telescope. I was about 12 and she pointed it into the mountains to show me a light that couldn't be explained. Rapidly shifting through the entire spectrum of colors and hovering in a zigzagging pattern. We watched for a long time until I was too tired to stay up. I can't explain how or why anything would be in those hills in the early hours of the evening, hovering, or how it would also emit such a spectrum of color. Fast forward to me visiting my parents in the summer of 2024. I brought my husband and children and to my parents' new property in Bear Lake area of Idaho. We had an auditory experience that I'm absolutely certain was Sasquatch in the wilderness while stopped for lunch on a side-by-side ride. Oh, okay. So they were on a ride having kind of a picnic. Yeah. Tree knocking. And when my mom took the grandkids on what's an airbrain expedition?
Oh.
I don't know what an airbrain expedition is. To go check out the tantalizing flower across a deeply cut stream bed, we immediately heard a triangulation of whoops in the thickly wooded hill, essentially surrounding our little party. They continued until my husband and I frantically ran to our children and grabbed their hands, and the moment we did, the whooping stopped abruptly. The lunch we all shared following that was filled with dread. That night, my dad shared that there had been a sighting days earlier on a ridge nearby. I live in Marfa, Texas now. The ranch I live on has optimal viewing for the iconic Marfa lights. We did not know that before securing living areas arrangements out here, and after having a few close encounters with Marfa lights, I am just expecting a cryptid encounter due to my unfortunate conditioning. I believe that whatever this being is oddly connected with heightened paranormal activity in these areas. Yeah, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. So they're definitely drawing a correlation between the lights and the creatures. And who knows? I mean, I don't pretend to know. I don't understand it personally. Like, I can't conceptualize it, but I can't ignore the fact that people seem to see them in close proximity. And they're, does one equal the other, or are they just unrelated phenomena that happen to be in the same area? I don't know.
It's curious. Very.
It is really curious. Yep. All right, let's go to the next one from March 6th.
Oh, Rachel says, I've read Bigfoot put piles of stones as markers to mark the spot distance where the motion lights are activated.
Oh, really? That's interesting, because there's hikers will find piles of stones out in the middle of nowhere, so it's interesting that they might, maybe that's a different kind of marker out in the woods, but that's pretty cool. Huh. Interesting. Great thought, Rachel. Thank you. This one is March 6th. So this is like today old. I saw Wes posted it on X. Like the deer was thrown. I mean, that's a start right there. It's going to be pretty wild. A listener shared the following account. I had a really unusual encounter back at the end of October 2025, which, it's just last fall, so not long. I believe a Bigfoot may have thrown a deer under my truck here in Maine. There's a lot more detail I can go into. Just yesterday, I found a tree break that looks very recent, and I'll take a picture tomorrow. Thank you, Maggie.
Hey,
that's so sweet. I'm not making this up. I'm a registered Maine guide, and there's another incident I would like to discuss. After speaking with the witness, it's clear that he is an experienced guide who spends a lot of time in the woods. He described a hunting trip in which the incident occurred. While driving along a wooded road, he noticed what he described as a large black void in the tree line, almost as if something massive was standing there. Suddenly, a deer came flying out of the forest and slammed into his truck. The witness explained the deer came from that black mass area. I've hit deer before, but this one came out differently. It was like it had been thrown at my truck. He stopped the vehicle and got out to check on the animal, and the deer appeared to be dead. He returned to his truck and called the police to report that he had struck a deer and gave his location. He then grabbed his pistol with an intention of putting the animal down if it was still alive, but when he walked back to where the deer had been lying, it was gone. Oh, wow.
Oh.
According to the witness, the blood on the ground suggests the deer had been dragged away as if something had pulled it off the road and into the woods. Yikes. That's a tough one. So it chucked it at his truck. Maybe it was pissed. No, it must have been live at one point because it's still leaking blood. So it must have been very recently killed. Maybe just as the truck was coming and it was pissed. So it was like, God, people, and threw the deer.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it damaged the truck or where did it hit the truck. It sounds like it threw it under the truck. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's creepy as hell. That's a lot of force. I mean, let's say a deer is roughly 80 to 100 pounds. How far could you throw that? For me, I'm thinking about 3 or 4 feet. You know,
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this did it at a point where it wasn't visible to the truck on the road. So, you know, any street or road has got some of the vegetation cut off on the side. Unless it was just, you know, in the thick of the woods. But, you know, where trees are butting right up to the pavement. But still, that's a hell of a thing.
Dear Lord.
Dear
No pun
Lord.
intended.
Indeed.
No pun intended.
I see what you did there. That was rather clever. Rather clever. But cool story. Again, check out Sasquatch Chronicles blog because all of these things are posted over there along with a lot of more information, including postings from that Wes does of other shows and information. So there's lots over there. It's a great repository of knowledge and resource that you guys can connect with. Not just the podcast itself. So there it is. But
There we go.
there we go. This has been a presentation of the Paranormal Portal. Sheldon, what do you have to say to the people?
Well, guys, as always, don't forget paranormalportal.net, the home base for the Paranormal Portal, where you can always stay up to date on when new live streams are going up, when new podcasts are going up, and your very own Interview Me button if you have an amazing story to share, as well as discord.gg/Paranormal Portal, where the community home base, heart of the community of the Paranormal Portal, all the links, all the discussions, all in one place. Go ahead, check it out, join. It's free. And for tomorrow's question of the week, it's still up, still time to respond. Get your responses out there.
Amen. So that's what we got for you guys tonight. I hope you guys had a good journey. Thank you all for joining us. And I'll be back tomorrow night for the Saturday edition. Saturday edition of the Paranormal Portal. You'll pay for the whole seat, but you only need the edge. All right. So that's all we got time for you tonight. Remember, head over to Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott on YouTube and check out his live stream coming up in just a few minutes. So remember, love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Rolling the credits.